Hi, welcome to another episode on the My Fragrance Journey channel. 2023 is the year that keeps on giving. We're month 3, and the fragrances just keep coming. Although mainly flankers, there's elixirs, there's intenses, there's parfums. You catch my drift. So not really many new fragrances to so to say, but rather interesting releases coming out from the house of Armani, Azzaro, Davidoff, Tom Ford, and Calvin Klein, just to name a few. So just to kickstart off the list, from the house of Armani, just a quick shout out to ifragrance.com. This is where all of this knowledge comes from. So if you're new to fragrances and would like to get some of this knowledge and the latest and greatest news of what's happening in the fragrance scene, ifragrance.com and perfumo.com.net, very good website to go to read about the latest news in fragrances. First up, from the house of Armani, Stronger With You Amber. So another flanker from the Stronger With You line of fragrances. The previous one was oud, very nice, very solid, not a very aggressive oud, but a wearable modern type of oud, more mass pleasing type of oud, very, very nice. I really enjoyed it. And then the notes that they talk about, so amber, vanilla, and lavender. That's all they are mentioning here. And when it comes to availability of the scent, it seems like Armani is more focused on the Middle Eastern market with this. The previous oud and this one seems to be more catered to that market, and are much more difficult. These variations, the previous oud and this amber, are much more difficult to find. Even though where I am in South Africa, I managed to find very easily. The oud was readily available in our retail outlets, but a lot of people are reporting that it's very difficult to find in other parts of the world outside of the Middle East. So Armani, Stronger With You Amber, looks good. Probably another banger. Looking forward to sampling and maybe getting myself a bottle. Who knows? The next one from the house of Azzaro, the Wanted line that keeps on giving and giving and giving. We're on flanker after flanker after flanker. This is a line that's worked very well for the house of Azzaro, and they just kept it going. The previous releases were Most Wanted Parfum, and then now we've got Wanted Eau de Parfum. So it comes in the silver bottle that was similar to what they used for something called Free Ride that wasn't very, very successful. So they reused that bottle, so those people who've been around can remember Free Ride. I have no idea what Free Ride is. I was not around at that time. So from a marketing perspective, note wise, they only mention 4 here: juniper berries, salvia, sage, vetiver. So very simple note breakdown. Most probably gonna be much more comprehensive when it lands, but for now this is what we're getting from the house of Azzaro Wanted EDP. And then the next one from the house of Davidoff, which seems to release a flanker every 6 months. I don't know, every time I look up there's a flanker from the house of Davidoff, but hey, they're solid. Davidoff Cool Water range, very solid. We had Parfum recently, and we had Sage and Geranium, and now we've got Davidoff Cool Water Oceania Edition. So what they say about Oceania Oceania Edition, the note breakdown is as follows. This is the marketing spew on iFragrance. Begins with oceanic notes to invoke the summertime beach vibe that most of us crave, which melts into a heart of salty driftwood and base of woody vetiver. A fairly simple note breakdown, but it makes me think of a pear, woody vetiver for the dry wooden docks, the driftwood for the wave-worn legs, and oceanic notes that represent the water itself. I guess that's what they're always going for. It's a nice, fresh, you know, light blue aquatic type of scent. You know, there's all sorts of things here with a bit of woodiness mixed in between. Yeah, so from the house of Davidoff, from the Cool Water line of fragrances, Oceania Edition is the one. And then one that was caught my eye when it was first released from the house of Benetton, We Are Tribe, and then now this is the We Are Tribe Intense. So Benetton didn't waste time. The United House of Benetton didn't waste time in releasing a flanker to this We Are Tribe range. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it in the retail stores around my neighborhood or in my neck of the woods, so clearly it must be doing well for there to be an intense version now, or unless it maybe people complain that maybe it was too weak or something like that. But yeah, they've got a We Are Tribe Intense now. It comes in this nice gray, and then, you know, gradient, starting off with gray and then becoming black, as opposed to the blue, you know, light blue turning darker blue hoodie type of bottle. Very interesting bottle design. I quite like it. Very youthful, very fresh, and, you know, hip, so to say. And then when the note broke down here, just the difference between the current and the previous. So top notes now include lavender and mint instead of salted grapefruit, kumquat, and pink pepper. Okay, so the spicy freshness has been toned down a bit. That were present in the original EDT. The middle notes are now Artemisia, carrot seeds, iris, elemi, and licorice. Oh man, iris, licorice, those two notes, I can always pick them up, and I love them in my fragrances. So definitely catches my eye when they mention iris and licorice in the same sentence, instead of the lavender and basil of the previous rendition of the fragrance. The base now has leather, vetiver, and kayak, while the dry amber was excluded from the release. So they just took out the dry amber from the base notes. So very interesting. Definitely gets me excited. It's one of those that gets me excited. And then the next one from the house of Tom Ford, Tom Ford Grey Vetiver Parfum. You know, Tom Ford has also lately being on this Parfum flanker release. Last year they released Noir Parfum. Was it Noir Parfum? But I remember Costa Azzurro Parfum. So yeah, you know, if a fragrance is good, make it more powerful, you know, then, you know, keep it going. So when it comes to notes here, the description here, the charismatic woody note is warmed by spicy saffron in what the brand calls the world's most expensive spice, which is accurate. The vibrant floral facet of orange blossom rings in to lift the composition into a fresher scent. Okay, so they're making it more fresher, but it's a parfum. Quite confusing, but hey, they can do whatever they want. They're Tom Ford. It's Tom Ford, by the way. So notes here that they mention is saffron, orange blossom, and vetiver. So very interesting combination of scents there, and yeah, definitely look forward to sampling it and maybe buying, but we'll see about that. And then next one from the house of Calvin Klein, Eternity. From the Eternity line of fragrances. This one is one of the old throwback lines from the house of Calvin Klein. So Eternity for Men Reflections. I think last month I did an announcement of a CK1 Reflections. So they decided to throw out CK1 Reflections and an Eternity for Men Reflections. Very interesting, but yeah, it is what it is. So in terms of the note breakdown here, they say it opens up with green fairy absinthe with a heart of chocolate that melts into sandalwood and oak moss. Wow, very interesting. I don't see a note breakdown as such here. Yeah, but with that said, let me just continue reading. And then they let me just check. So bitter wormwood, fresh fennel, and anise would be the best way to describe the absinthe. Okay, so wormwood, fresh fennel, and anise would be how the absinthe is described. Now, so yeah, there you have it. So there's chocolate, sandalwood, oak moss, and absinthe. So those are the notes. Yeah, very interesting. So from the house of Calvin Klein, Eternity for Men, Reflections. Interesting. And then from the Hugo Boss line, brand, from the bottle line, which seems to release a flanker every 6 months as well. You know, there's always a flanker, a limited edition of some sort when it comes to the Boss bottled line. This one is Boss Bottle Pacific. Very beautiful light blue bottle. Yeah, very fresh looking, you know, silver lid, the blue bottle. Very, very nice. And then here they mention a note of coconut, which had me very, very excited, you know. So the marketing line goes as follows. The newest addition to the infamous Boss bottle line is composed by Sophie Lab, a perfumer who has created over 120 perfumes for flavor house feminine. The revitalizing top opens with zesty lemon and vibrant citron, which leads into a summery heart of coconut with a pinch of salt and fresh coastal cypress. The base consists of delicate sandalwood and woody patchouli and warm cashmere. Very interesting. But the note of coconut, man, that's a note I like in my fragrances, you know. Every time I hear coconut, my brain just takes me back to Jean-Paul Gaultier-Le. That's where they use the note of coconut quite well. And then just the note breakdown, they've got a full note breakdown here. Hugo Boss doesn't mess around. So top, lemon, citric essence. Middle, coconut accord, salted accord, and then cypress essence. Salted accord, I have no idea what that is, but that's what they say, salted accord. And then the base, cashmere, patchouli, and sandalwood. So very interesting note breakdown, but the coconut in the middle is definitely what I'm interested in. So it will have a fresh opening, and then the coconut, and then a bit of the patchouli, sandalwood in the base. So very interesting, but we'll see when it comes out. You know, it might just be one of those underwhelming fragrance releases, but we'll see. All in good time. Only time will tell when it comes to these things. And last but not least, in my announcements, from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Male Elixar. So there's been an elixir upon elixir frenzy at the moment. So this one very interesting, the bottle gold with the stripes, the sailor stripes running across the bottle's bust. It looks pretty neat, I must say, pretty neat looking. It's males, it's Le Male, so it's for male. So Le Male Elixar is, they describe it as an extravagant and ultra sexy. Well, looking at the bottle, you know, those are the words that would go with a bottle like this. The new fiery sailor Le Male Elixar melts any treasure with its aromatic fuchsia amber scent. The gold soaked torso exudes the seductive sophistication of the fragrance. Fresh lavender, warm tonka bean, and gentle benzoin make up this extraordinary lush perfume, a real eye catcher. Well, the bottle is a real eye catcher. The note breakdown, well, you know, we'll see how that comes together, but benzoin, tonka bean, lavender, definitely a decent you know, mix of notes. So we'll see how it comes out. But when it comes to the Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male line, you know, they always push out bangers. So definitely looking forward to it. Might probably be my first Jean-Paul Gaultier, you know, so you never know. The year is still long. Lots of possibilities. And yeah, so from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Male Elixar is coming. And yeah, that's it from this short, no, not so short, update of new releases in the month of March 2023. Hopefully looking forward to a whole lot more in the month of April. And yeah, with that said, please like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.